Hello and welcome back to the Mickelson Racing Channel. This week, we're going to be working on our broken line lock on our Caprice PPV. You guys may or may not remember when we took this car to Sick Week down in Florida this last winter, February 2022. We put a line lock kit on this car so it would do better in the burnout box and all that fun stuff. So we used that, and then in the first couple days, I think on day 2 or something like that, our line lock failed. And it was a solenoid that actually failed. And I've never seen a failure like this. So let me show you real quick what's going on. I've also got this in the Sick Week videos. So if you haven't watched the Sick Week videos, hop over to that playlist, watch those, and you can see more details on that. So this is a line lock solenoid. Well, half of a line lock solenoid. Here is the other half of it. This slides over the top like so, and then you have a line lock solenoid. Well, this is a very interesting failure. The shaft that goes through the other part of the line lock solenoid failed. That is not supposed to come out like that. That is a press fit, and then it looks like to me it's inertia welded after that, and well, it failed. So what's supposed to happen, one side goes through the solenoid and the other side goes through, and then it's kind of press fit in there like that. Well, this failed wide open, and so basically the solenoid is like this under the hood. Brake fluid is going everywhere. I've got no brakes. I make a pass anyway because I'm stupid. And now here we are 6 months later, and we're going to decide to fix this thing. SJM wants this back. They want to do a full diagnosis. They want to understand why this part failed, because a brake failure is really never a good thing. That's a liability to anybody who manufactures brake parts. So they're very interested in getting this back and finding a root cause so that they don't have any more that fail like this. So I'm going to send this all back to SJM as they requested, and we're going to be doing some work and putting our new solenoid back in. So this is another SJM line lock solenoid. As you can see, this is what a completed one looks like. We already have the brake line on this unit, so all we got to do is slip it in there, do some wiring, hook up our brake lines, and then we have to bleed the brakes, and then we should be good to go. As you can see, the top part does move. That is for installation, so you have a little wiggle room when installing. After you're done, you can tighten up this bottom nut right down here, just like that, and boom, you don't get any more wiggling. Let's go ahead and throw this new part in the car. Shout out to SJM, thank you for your support. We'll go ahead and get rocking and rolling. Well, we got that back in there. That actually went pretty smooth. I'm actually pretty impressed with how it went. So we got the upper brake line in, tightened down. We got the lower brake line in, tightened down. We got our power wire good. We've got our ground wire good. So we should be all good to go as far as this goes. Now, both of our brake lines are empty as far as fluid goes, and our solenoid is empty as far as fluid goes. So we're going to have to bleed the brakes. There's nobody here. My girlfriend is not home at the moment. We're gonna have to figure out how to bleed brakes. I do have my brake bleeding kit here, which is a water bottle with a tube and a hole drilled in the cap, which goes with some fluid so we don't draw any air into the system, and a syringe for pushing fluid through the system. We may be able to utilize that somehow to do this by ourselves. So we're gonna grab the jack, get out of the car, pull the wheel off, although I probably don't need to do that because the bleeders are right there. How convenient. Although there are bleeders on both sides of the Brembos, on the outside and the inside. So I still should probably pull the wheel off. That's probably the best thing to do. As you may notice, new shirt. That means a new day. I got lazy, it got too hot. That's all right, it's a new day. We're gonna get back to work. We have to take the wheels and tires off and bleed the brakes on this unit. So one thing I'm gonna show you is how to bleed the brakes by yourself with no really special tools. So I'm gonna show you how to make that tool, and then I'm gonna show you how to bleed the brakes by yourself. So you don't need a buddy. First, let's take this wheel off, jack it up, and let's get in there. Well, I couldn't get the tire all the way off, so I just pulled it off to the side and set it at an angle, and hey, it's gonna work good enough for what we're doing. Now, the special tool that I wanna show you, it's not really that special at all. So we've got a small hose, and we've got a bottle full of brake fluid. Now you drill a hole in the cap, and you run your hose through the cap into the brake fluid so it's totally submerged, and then you put the other end of your hose right on top of the brake bleeder screw, and then you can just open that sucker up. You can pump your brakes slowly until you get all the air out of the system, close your bleeder back up, and you should have bled brakes. Let's go give that a shot on the car right now. Guess who forgot to turn the camera on? This guy. Anyway, did the passenger side, so now let's go ahead and do the driver's side. Hopefully this time we'll leave the camera on so you can see something. Okay, same as the other side, folks. We're gonna leave the bottle on the ground, and we're gonna put our hose on our brake bleeder. We're gonna open it, push our brakes very slowly. Make sure the end of the hose is inside the fluid. It should self-bleed. We got the brakes bled. We have a nice firm pedal, and I'm really happy about that. I did 10 pumps per bleeding screw, brake bleeder, and there are 4 on these front Brembos, 1 for each side of the caliper. So we did 10 pumps for each side, so that's 20 pumps per caliper. We ran 2 water bottles full of fluid through there, so about 32 ounces worth of fluid. We got a lot of fluid pumped through there. I only bled the fronts. Best practices would be to bleed all 4, but we only broke open the front system, so I only bled the front system. Nice firm pedal, should be all good to go on that, and I would say that's a great success. We have our line lock back up and running. We got it all plumbed, zip tied, heat shrunk, soldered, the whole 9 yards. Got our brakes bled on the passenger side, and our brakes bled on the driver's side. Pretty freaking happy about that. if I don't say so myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad you guys could stick around. And the Caprice, it's going to come back very soon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on the Mickelson Racing channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe right here in the corner of this video. Check out our merchandise site. First link below in the description. We'll see you next week.